Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a hump day edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. Yeah, if you need an orthopedist, go to Brock. You need a roof? Call Parish. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com. Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars. Use the code MAT15 and MAT15 and MAT15 for 15% off your order. All right, y'all, good morning. Glad to have you hanging out with us here. Big news came down on Tuesday, a little late in the evening. Shay Dixon had it first that LSU defensive lineman Sydir Mitchell no longer with the team. I don't think that is I don't think it's a great surprise. I think leaving 2 games into the season maybe is a little bit of a surprise, but then I can also understand, you're not gonna, excuse me, run the risk of playing more than your 4 games this year, and um, you're losing your redshirt opportunity. Although he hadn't played in the first 2 games, I think it was probably unlikely that he was going to play this year or play much. But again, it makes sense why Sydir Mitchell is leaving LSU. The timing is the thing that's curious. It's something we've talked about ever since Bo Davis left and Kyle Williams was hired. It's just the different style of defensive tackle that the two coaches wanted. Remember, Sydir Mitchell committed to Bo Davis at Texas. Bo Davis takes the LSU job, and then Davis recruits Sydir Mitchell to LSU. Before spring ball, Bo Davis takes the Saints job, and now Sydir Mitchell and all these guys that Bo Davis recruited out of the high school ranks are all at LSU playing for a coach that wants different styles of defensive linemen. So remember Dylan Battle was part of the signing class who, from Arlington, who never showed up after Bo Davis left. He's like, yeah, nope. So he's at Utah now, by the way. So it's disappointing he went that way, but it's also not tremendously surprising. And look, we've actually seen some of that depth on the D line as well. You have your primary 4-man rotation with McKinley, Bro, Gooden, and Guillory as your primary 4-man rotation. And then, we have seen Buddy Mathis play in each of the first 2 games as well as a freshman. And Brandon Brown played the other day also against Louisiana Tech. So, I don't want to find out. It would be interesting if you did end up with an injury or someone was out, who would step up and how that rotation would go. But that's telling you at best Mitchell was your 7th, and then actually I think Sean Washington played as well. So Mitchell at best would be your 8th defensive tackle. It's not a lot of 8-man rotations that are going to get you reps. So I get it. He's going to find an opportunity where he's going to be able to go playing the defense that more suits his size and skill set. Okay. Please smash the like button if you would subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. The LSU baseball schedule was also released. Home schedule is light, so you better do your work at home because your road schedule is a bear. You're at Vanderbilt, you're at Tennessee, at Ole Miss, at Mississippi State, at Georgia. That is a really tough road schedule. Now you miss, and now your home series are Oklahoma, Kentucky, Texas A&M, South Carolina, so Minari will come here, and Florida. You miss Missouri, unfortunately. You miss Texas. I know a lot of people were really wanting Texas to make the return trip after LSU played in Arlington or in Austin last year. But you miss Texas, you miss Arkansas, And then Auburn, Alabama, Missouri. I think Auburn's a really good young team. Alabama, you never really know. Missouri's the worst team in the league. So you'd love to have Missouri on the schedule, but unfortunately, you don't. You mentioned you better win those home series, man, because you actually have a manageable home slate. Even A&M, which looks good on paper as a team. Remember, like they're losing a ton from that team where they got everybody back, but Jace Lavallette's gone, Caden Kent, Lampkin, Prager, Schott, like all those guys are gone. So anyway, early to talk LSU baseball, but the schedule came out and there's just the pre-conference is awful. They do play one of those series in Jacksonville where they're going to play, 3 teams in Jacksonville. It's Notre Dame, Indiana, and Central Florida are the 3 opponents that they'll play in Jacksonville. So anyway, all right, please smash the like button if you would, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post, say some good mornings, get to your comments. You know the drill, fire away. Silo, good morning. Hey, Weston, good morning. How about the baseball schedule? Tennessee and Vandy away. How about those matchups? Yeah, it remains to be seen what Vandy will be. They have certainly in the NIL era not been what they were under Tim Corbin. He the distinct advantage that Vanderbilt had of being able to offer full ride scholarships, academic scholarships to everybody, is no longer a differentiator for them. So they're going to be an interesting program to see if they can maintain their elite level, which they have not been able to do. Hey, Kelly, Thomas, Bubba, Tiger Diver, any word on the UFDL if he was suspended? So Billy Napier talked about it on Monday, said they had not decided if he was suspended. Remember, the NCAA does not mandate suspension. So he was ejected from the game for spitting, but because it was an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, that does not carry with it the subsequent 1/2 suspension of the next game. Unlike, because we talked about the AJ Halsey situation where he was ejected for fighting, which did carry the 1/2 suspension. So, so he is not mandated to be suspended by the NCAA. It's just a matter of will Billy Napier do it, and I doubt he will. They've already lost LJ McCray to a broken leg. Caleb Banks hasn't played in 2 games this year with a leg injury. They're already thin on that defensive line. It's hard for me to imagine. So Brendan Bett is the defensive lineman from Florida who spit on the guy from South Florida, and he's a Baylor transfer. Hard to imagine that they're gonna sit him. Jaylen, morning. Today's a great day. Not a bit. Today is a great day. It's a wonderful day. Best day ever. Patrick, good morning. Matt and Drew, today's good news. I woke up on the right side of the dirt. I had a customer tell me that years ago. That has stuck with me ever since. Love it. It's true, man. Good Lord gave you this day, man. Go make the most of it. So, hey, Hunter, fun fact. The message board, Bengal Tiger, actually informed Shay about it. Oh, interesting. Abner, Brian Wynn, 337. Cats were saying he was unblockable in the fall. I don't know who was saying he was unblockable in the fall. I didn't say he was unblockable in the fall because he wasn't. I said Bernard Gooden, the transfer from South Florida, was unblockable in the fall. And he absolutely was a handful. And he's done really well so far through 2 games. Mitchell was, as I said, probably at best 5th in your rotation. After the 4 guys I mentioned, then Mitchell might have been 5th, but then Shone Washington might have been there ahead of him. So 5th or 6th. Now it turns out he's even lower. The thing I said over and over again about Sydir Mitchell is he's just a giant guy that doesn't move. He's trying to create a pileup right at the line of scrimmage. And Kyle Williams wants guys that are going to get upfield and penetrate and get in the quarterback's face. That's not Sydir Mitchell. So you can say Cats, but don't include me in that. Hey, Christian, good morning. Week 2 is upon us. Thrilled football is back. I guess talk about week 2 in the NFL. It's week 3 in college football, which, by the way, after this weekend, I hate to say it this way, but after this weekend, the regular season is a quarter over. Goes fast, man. Make sure you pause to enjoy it. Hey, Chance, heard people say Kyle Williams likes a different style of D-line. Do you think any other kids may leave the program? If by people you mean me, then you're right, because that is something I've said literally from the day they've hired him, illustrating the contrast between Sydir Mitchell and Bernard Gooden. One's 6'6", 355, one's 6'1", 268. And yes, I do think other defensive linemen may leave. I think in the portal area, you're always going to have guys leave no matter what. But you look at that crop of defensive linemen that Bo Davis signed, and he signed 5 of them. Brown and Mathis and Battle and Zion Williams and Barton Mitchell via the portal. Yeah, I mean, like Zion Williams is an enormous human. Like it is striking to walk up to that man and see how big he is. But he just doesn't do the things that Bo Davis wants. And so it's natural to think, look, after this year, and here's the flip side of it. After this year, you're losing Bernard Gooden. You've already lost. Sydir Mitchell's already gone. You're losing Bernard Gooden. You're losing Jacoby and Guillory. Bro and McKinley will be rising juniors. But after that, it's this freshman class. And then Sean Washington could come back for another year if he wants to. But so you either see this freshman class stay, emerge, and become really good impact players next year as sophomores, or you go in the portal for defensive linemen. Hey, Daniel, morning. Too bad about Sydir. Deuce Gerald seems like the perfect Kyle Williams fit. See, but here's the interesting thing about Deuce Gerald's. Is he going to play inside or is he going to play outside? But you're right. If he plays inside, he is that fit. But similar to Lamar Brown, who's giant and super athletic, but it sounds like he's going to play edge for Kevin Peoples. So, yes, you're absolutely right about Deuce Gerald's. I'm going to be curious to see where Deuce Gerald's fits. Is it going to be on the interior or is he going to play on the outside? Because I think he can play both. I think he will play both, but it's going to be more like what's his primary, right? Like we see packages where Pyburn kicks inside or, they get those to get the edge rushers, like you get like 4 rushers on the field. So it'll be interesting to see where he slots. Hey, Thomas, day 10, we've reached double digits. Tiger Poppy, what's up? Hey, Bob, good morning. Thanks for all the information. You got it, Bob. Thanks for watching, man. I wouldn't be here if y'all weren't. Hey, Christian, good morning. The under is now 48.5. Won't be surprised if it gets to 46.5, 45. You talking about for LSU, Florida? I haven't looked at the total. Let's see. The line is LSU 7.5. It was 9.5. That's surprising. It's come down from 9.5 to 7.5. And I'm looking at 48.5 on the total right now. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it opened at. And that doesn't like I don't hate an underplay in this game just because I don't think Florida's going to score. I'm not saying LSU's going to shut them out. I just don't think. I think it's going to be really difficult for Florida to score. I think it's going to be difficult for a lot of teams to score. But I mean, Clemson in their home stadium scored 10 against LSU with a 5th-year senior quarterback and veteran offensive line and all those weapons and everything. DJ Lagway, this is something I talked about today on Locked On. But Lagway is Billy Napier said it this week that Lagway has only been practicing for 3 weeks. Remember, he did not practice in spring because of his shoulder, and then he did not practice in fall camp because he had a leg injury. Can't remember. I think it was a calf, but so he basically had a week of practice, and then they were in game week for Long Island, and then game week for South Florida. So he's only been practicing for 3 weeks. It's really hard to go from December in your bowl game to not do anything football related until August and think you're going to be ready to roll. So, the inconsistencies that Lagway's had, that offense scuffling here early. I think it's going to be a real challenge for Florida to score. I think their opportunity is going to be similar to what happened a year ago. You got to play a defensive game, ball control, run the clock, keep it close, get a turnover. Like that's their opportunity, because I do think LSU is just a better team everywhere, and they're at home. Not going to lie, I don't know who that is. Never heard of him before. Oh, Sydir Mitchell's the defensive tackle who transferred in from Texas. So Bo Davis recruited him to Texas. When Bo Davis came to LSU, Mitchell went in the portal and followed Bo Davis here. Hey, Jake, who are Koki Rod's parents? How to get his job? I've never met Koki's parents, and I would assume Koki applied for the job at the Advocate and got it. I've never asked him that. But Koki came here first. He was at the Advertiser in Lafayette. So he was covering LSU for the Advertiser in Lafayette, and then when Leah Van left, Koki got the Advocate job. I think that's how that went. Hey, Jeffrey, good morning. Have a great day. Good morning. Let's see, trying to find a printable version of the new LSU baseball schedule. Do you have a link? I don't. I mean, we have the schedule on the front page of LouisianaSports.net, but I don't know that that's what you're looking for. Hey, Jeff, good morning. Jeff, good morning. What up, my dude? Jeff. AJ, good morning. Jason, good morning. Correct. You know what? It's actually a great time to do that because it's 7:01, which means I got to go stop Drew's sound machine. Here you go. Here you go, Dale. Here it comes.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. At Parrish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parrish Construction and Roofing. Parrish built. Parrish built. Parrish built. From your hometown. ParrishBuilt.com.
All right. Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com, ParrishBuilt.com. We actually have a commercial shoot this morning. So we have a commercial shoot this morning with a certain basketball and certain national championship winning basketball coach who might wear purple and gold. Looking forward to that. Might put her in green today. Oh, did I just give it away? Her. Anyway, excited about that. Go do that this morning. ParrishBuilt.com, ParrishBuilt.com. Of course, Brock, remember, we're getting close again. Free Friday night clinic every Friday throughout the high school football season. Every high school football player, band member, cheerleader, coach, anyone's injured on a Friday night light, you can always go by and see our friends over at Brock on Friday night. Get seen by a doctor absolutely free. Great service that Brock has provided the Baton Rouge community for 30 years. brortho.com for more info. Unique Physique. Remember that semaglutide, tirzepatide, the injectable weight loss medicines, the weight loss shots. Lowest prices, never any contracts. Do the whole thing over Telemed. They'll ship your medicine anywhere in the country. So doesn't matter where you're watching. What are you waiting for? You want to see if you can lose some LBs? We've got nothing to lose. Try it. Doesn't work, stop. No contracts. Lowest prices. All right. KDP, Jacob, Brad, good morning. Thought you were always joking when you said the refs are all bad at their jobs. I wouldn't go that far, but they're certainly not perfect as anybody in any job is. Yeah, they're all bad at their jobs. All refs are bad at their jobs. Leslie, good morning. Ben, good morning. Trevor, Brad, is there a university that has the same architecture as LSU? Stanford. I don't know if you heard me mention that before, but yes, Stanford. So it's interesting. I visited Stanford 20 years ago, not like as a student or anything. Just actually, I was a student at LSU at the time, but my dad was on a business trip in San Francisco, and it was the summer. I was off school, so I just went with him, and then I just went around San Francisco while he went to business meetings and stuff. Caught 3 ball games out at the Giants Park. And then one day I just took a train up to Palo Alto to see Stanford. And so I took a tour of the university. And it's interesting because the same architect that designed LSU designed Stanford. And so the layout of the campus is very similar. And at one point, I was looking for the bookstore, the Union bookstore and all that, go buy a shirt or something like that. And so I was in the quad and I just walked as if I was walking on LSU's campus. I found the bookstore. It's like, the layout is almost identical. It's interesting. Hey, Quentin, good morning. Susan, good morning. Count the money. Matt, what do we think? When do we think the offense finds its identity? It's a good question. I don't know that they were going to find it last week no matter what, because if you just sort of leaned on Tech and outmatched them physically, that would have, I don't know that would have told us anything. I think what you're starting to see is who your playmakers are emerging. Like, clearly through 2 games, Aaron Anderson is your best and most consistent receiver. Shocker, he was your leading receiver a year ago. Clearly, they find Barry Brown to be their best deep ball threat. I mean, he got robbed of a touchdown in week 1, and he led your team in receiving yards in week 2. Right, so you're starting to see some of that stuff emerge, I think. Caden Durham is obviously your number 1 running back. Not that that was any surprise. I'll be very curious to see who the number 2 running back is. And like we mentioned yesterday, I would kind of like to see them simplify. There's so much going on with personnel groupings, packages, motions. I think a lot of that is leading to pre-snap penalties, and I think some guys are struggling to find a rhythm in the offense as a result of that. Jake Crane was on AFR yesterday, gave a great analogy, like about an offense, like dancing. You need to find your rhythm, like in dancing, and that's only just with time and consistency. So I would love to see that. I'd really love to see that start to manifest this weekend. Trevor, hope we can get the Gator Chomp going in Death Valley. Oh, wait, you mean like as an LSU fan do the Gator Chomp? Sure. Let's see. Survivors More says we can't blame scheme, play calling, or Brad Davis. Why can't LSU on the ball? They're at 13 carries for 29 yards. Tech whipped LSU in the run game. Push LSU back or run by blockers. I think I understand your frustration. And I do think that sometimes scheme has to do with it, of course. And I think sometimes it's guys missing blocks. And I think sometimes it's the backs missing holes or missing seams or missing cut lanes. I would say it's probably more I think it's more of what I just talked about. It's finding some consistency. Like, I would love to see a drive where you rode Caden Durham on a 12-play drive where he got the ball like 8 times. But we don't see that. It's, I think Sloan gets blamed, for lack of creativity or predictability, whatever. Which I think is lazy and dumb. But I think it's actually the opposite. I think sometimes they try to do too much. And maybe I said this yesterday, but in the NFL, you can do that. In the NFL, you can do that because you have unlimited time on the practice field, in the classroom, all that stuff. In college, you can't. I mean, you're limited to the number of hours a week that you can practice and have guys in meetings and all that sort of stuff. So, and then they have school and now NIL and other obligations. So I think sometimes you don't have enough time to rep everything. And so maybe you're a beat slow because you're thinking. I think losing Braylon Moore the other day absolutely hurt. I think also against Tech, looking at a 3-3-5 stack is different. And Tech just muddied up the game. And LSU didn't take advantage of the opportunities to blow it open. I mean, we've gone through this. The fourth play of the game should have been a touchdown. Barry Brown was open, Nuss missed him. That's not the offensive line. That's not Brad Davis. That's not anything except your really talented quarterback missing a throw. On the second drive, you're moving the ball. Nuss throws a beautiful pass over the middle of Xavier Thomas. down around the 10-yard line, can't hold on to it. I mean, you were that close from being 14-0 on your first two drives. We weren't even having this conversation. Let's see. H-Town Creole. Morning, Scone, LSU fam. Sounds good to have smaller, faster D linemen, but don't get it twisted. You need beef. Okay. I mean, there's different ways to skin a cat. I just disagree with you, man. Like, there's just different ways to skin. There's many different ways to skin a cat. You can have your defensive lineman penetrate and make great plays. I mean, Glenn Dorsey wasn't a big guy. He's the greatest defensive lineman ever to play here. You know. Anyway. Hey, Jeff. Good morning. Thanks for bringing the truth. You got it, Jeff. If Deuce stays at height and weight, he is MLB. He's not playing middle linebacker. If that's what you're talking about, Deuce Gerald isn't playing middle linebacker. He's going to play defensive line. Hey, Leon. Good morning. Cody, when did you? It was like last Sunday, I think, maybe. I did like an hour and a half long show, and I just forgot, just missed it. So we started over the number. Bama loses to Wisconsin. Will you dress as a Badger? Where would I get a Badger suit? I'd be happy to do it, but where would I get a Badger? By the way, I don't think Alabama's losing to Wisconsin. Wisconsin's not very good. Hoping the crew of Dale survive the day. Chance, are y'all going to hire someone to cover recruiting for Louisiana sports? That is the plan. But we have to have budget for it. And, whenever we started, we had a certain budget. And so when I was hiring staff, naturally, I started with LSU and Saints. So Hunt and Ross. And then I brought in Marler as our third guy initially to cover the SEC, which is scalable, but then also as our social media manager. So he serves a dual role with us. The next full-time person that I'd like to hire would be recruiting in Pelicans. And I'd love to get to a point where we have someone who covers like the state schools for us and then ultimately prep. But I have to look at what are the scalable verticals and where we're going to invest in something that if we invest, will it provide enough return that we're going to scale? So, right now with all the other things, we do the best we can. Like there is a spot on our website for the Louisiana colleges. So like if you go to the homepage of LouisianaSports.net, hit the teams drop down, you'll see like LSU, Saints, SEC, Pelicans, Louisiana colleges. And a lot of it is game stories and press releases and things like that. So we have the news cycle going there, but creating original content, like I broke the Walker Howard story, right? There's stuff like that'll be there. And we try to cover recruiting as best we can, but we don't have someone who's a full-time recruiting person. But yes, that is the plan, and it will not be behind a paywall. I mean, it will be all the recruiting news you get from all the other sites, but it'll be free like everything else at LouisianaSports.net. All right, please smash the like button if you would, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Hey, Jalen, good morning. John Paul, good morning. Also, did you see Curtis Russ for 654 yards? I saw that they blew out Cathedral in California. I didn't know it was Cathedral. I saw they blew out the team in California. I did not see they rushed for 654. Hey, Brian, good morning from the New Jersey Transit Commuter Train. Good morning, Brian. Have a great day. Hey, David, LSU gave Florida its first loss before they even played each other. That's interesting. You're saying like Florida was in a look-ahead spot. Hey, Rocky, good morning. Sean, good morning. Hate the LSU baseball schedule. Let's play Louisville and UNC in the preseason. I'd be for it, but I know why they do it. I mean, they're going to play home games because they got to generate revenue. And you go play those teams. As Skip Bertman said years ago, that $30 million stadium doesn't pay for itself with the lights off. Kevin, Caden Durham's not looking like an RB1. What are you talking about? Are you insane? I mean, Durham was the only thing you had to get going in the running game against Clemson. In the first play of the season, he took a handoff left side. It stuffed at the line of scrimmage, looped around and gained 24 yards. You are outside your brain. When you get a Saints content with Kevin Foote, that would be great content. I love Kevin. He's great. Hey, Trevor, Matt, absolutely, as an LSU fan, got it. I saw a rewind from 2019. All of Tiger Stadium was chomping. It was lit. I do remember that. Preston, good morning. With this defense, is there a number offensively you would say if we can get to every week should win? Oh, man, obviously, if you score 30, it's hard to imagine this defense giving up 30. There will probably be a game where it happens. Short field, turnovers, really good scheme, bad matchup. They'll probably happen. But, it feels like this team could win a lot of 28-17 games, They have a Wisconsin Badger suit on Amazon for $249. Might be worth it. All right, I got to get out of here, y'all. Please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. All of our great sponsors are linked in the description on YouTube and tagged on Facebook. So remember, Locked on LSU is live, AFR3. We'll see you.